Hello and welcome or welcome back. Today we're just going to be playing some more Killing Floor 2 and just talking about stuff. So yeah, I'll stop rambling and we'll get right into it. Here you go. Thank y'all for chilling, by the way. As always. Yeah. Oh. Alright. Oh no. I haven't been playing any video games. There's no excuses. Why? Oh man, my aim is so off. So I watched a movie last night that I'll talk about, but like, I ended up watching that movie The Whale right after that because it was on, and I like Brendan Fraser, and I never saw this movie. I heard it was good though, and that movie was sad as fuck. Holy shit! I wasn't expecting it to be that sad. I knew it was a story about like an obese guy, a morbidly obese guy, and whatever. I just didn't really know what it was about. I heard it was really good, and I heard that he put in a really good performance. And yeah, I mean, it's a good movie. And he does put in a really good performance, but I was like, holy shit. That movie made me so sad. Alright. Probably curious what movie I watched. I'm probably not. But the theme, the Left for Two Dead, Plantation. It's, of course, the most historically accurate movie about a president ever, period. And that is, the canon Abraham Lincoln story. Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. Boom. I haven't watched that movie in years, and I honestly forgot that it existed until like last week. When I saw it suggested on my HBO or whatever, and I'm like, you know what? Why not? I remember liking it. I mean, I remember it being like a goofy movie. I remember I put it in the same vein as like Jonah Hex, where it's just like it's okay for it's good for what it is, you know. To be completely honest, it's better. It is better than Jonah Hex, you know. To be fair, I was actually pleasantly surprised with how much I actually enjoyed it. I'm like, wow, this movie's actually pretty good. The guy that plays Lincoln's all right, even though now I like in my little bit of research that I normally do, I saw that he's in Rings of Power, so that's where his career is now. Sadly, oh, he's playing an elf character that I mean I've read the Silmarillion. I own it. I can barely say the word, but I've read it. I own it. I know Lord of the Rings sort of. You know, a lot of the times I'll be like I think this, I think that, or whatever. Sometimes it is because of that, but other times of the obvious things I'm just being kind of cheeky. I'm like I know these some of the obviously the more basic shit, but you know. I'm not no fucking expert by all means, but I have read this. I have read the source material for that show, and that show is not it. I feel bad for him. He's not a terrible actor, but who knows? He might be one of them brain rotted ones. Yeah, if you want to talk about like a tough read, man, those books are actually pretty hard to. I don't. They're kind of exhausting if you're not like academic. You know, the ye old English and proper stuff, and I don't know. There's a lot that goes into it. But anyway, this movie is actually based on a book too that came out only like a couple of years before the movie was made. So obviously there was like something there, and it's very cinematic. Damn. Yeah. Fuck you. I do have that one perk, fallback. I had never really used it, but I have been using my pistol a little bit more lately, I feel like. Yeah, so where does this movie start? I guess it starts off with like his His dad, I guess, was has loans out with vampires. You don't know they're vampires at first, but it only takes like, I don't know, 5 minutes, not even. And his dad, I'm pretty sure, is Benjen from I think that's his name from Game of Thrones, the uncle that takes Jon Snow in. Yeah, that guy, the one that turns into like a White Walker or whatever. And yeah, I like that guy, that actor and that character. He's like one of my favorite like characters in that show. The guy was just a badass. But anyway, I thought that was funny because I watch it now and I'm just like, oh, I know that guy. Where is he from? Oh, it's the oh, okay, I got you. Oh, I thought I saw something. But anyway, yeah, and then I guess like his Abe's a kid at this time, obviously, and his best friend is a black kid, you know, and they're in free Illinois, right? Like it's free. Then I'm pretty positive it was like free times at that. Was Illinois free at that? I don't know. Maybe I should do a little bit of fucking research on that shit. It's been a minute since I had to think about that. I always like thought because I live in Illinois, so like I just kind of figured it's always kind of been that like we're the North, you know. But I'm pretty sure at one point it was just pretty much everywhere. But anyway, like and that kid ends up being what's his name, Falcon. I can't remember his damn name now. If I remember, I'll put it on the screen. But oh, Anthony Mackie. Yeah, that's what his name is. Yeah, he's not bad. He's not a bad actor. Yeah, but that anyway, Abe sticks up for that kid, and the kid gets like whipped in the face, and he has a scar, and that's kind of like the telltale sign of who he is years later. And let's see, his dad like retaliates, you know, to stick up for the kids, and then you know the vampire's just like, oh, there's more than one way to collect on a debt, her to her, you know how that is, and he ends up sneaking in ooh, what the fuck? Sneak. Okay, that's why I thought he's enraged. I'm like, that sounded weird. That came. I don't know. Eat pistol, bitch. You guys aren't making this easy. Damn, right. I almost blew myself up. Yeah, so he eats his mom. He feeds on his mom. She gets sick, and then she eventually dies. Abraham Lincoln's, you know, mom, and then whatever years later, his dad dies. You don't see that, but it's referenced, and then at this point, he's an adult, and he's really wants revenge on this asshole. So like eventually, he finds him and sneaks up on him with a gun and fucking goes to blow his head off. The gun like misfires, and then the guy like chases him around. The guy that plays that vampire, that asshole vampire, he's really I like him. He's a good he makes you hate him, and that's like what you want, you know. Like it's a good heel in wrestling. It's just like, yeah, okay, you want me to hate you for the right reasons, and this guy does that. But anyway, like he's talking shit as like Abe's reloading his gun behind a door or whatever. He's just and then whatever the whole thing of right when he's talking shit, the guy's talking shit and he thinks he has Abe. He opens up the door and shoots him in the eye. He thinks he's dead, which is stupid because the ball just stops in his eye socket. So even back in the day, you would think, but well, it does that whole thing of like the guy's in the foreground laying down the dead guy, right? In the foreground, and then the camera moves and then moves back and he's gone. Well, and then he gets the drop on old Abe and young Abe at this point. And then that's when you meet like Tony Stark's dad from the first Avenger, Captain America. The flashback version of the dad, pretty much the short guy, not the tall guy. Tony's dad, Iron Man's dad, he was actually in a scene before that, before Abe went to try and attempt to kill that one vampire. Yeah, he was at a bar, and that was like it sets up the end too, the end of the or whatever. I don't know. It's weird because then it skips forward at the end of the movie to modern times. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself, but like it starts. He's just like Abe's getting drunk because he's contemplating doing something. Oh shit. Not so kosher, I guess. I don't know. It's a vampire, so it's not the same as ending a human, in my opinion. If you're dealing with it that way, right? Oh my god. I just backed myself into a fucking corner. Alright, let's go. Yeah, and like I don't know. He said, "What is it? The only time I see a man drink that much is when when he wants to kiss a girl or if he's about to kill a man or something like that." Like, yeah, and then that sets it up at the end of the movie because it's a future scene of him just still going because he's a vampire, but he's a good vampire. Because you find out that years prior, the same people that they're going after, which I mean, I don't know. They say that this guy's like the first vampire or whatever, but he doesn't give that vibe, of like the OG original vampire vibe. He gives, like, the actor's really good. Don't get me wrong, but like it just doesn't feel like he's, like Dracula. You know what I mean? Like he's fucking like ancient. You know what I mean? I don't know, but anyway, yeah. So like apparently he followed Abe, because he kind of knew what he was going to be doing. I don't know, but he saves him from that vampire at the end, and like he like yeets him. So it's like you already know that he's a vampire. So I'm really not ruining anything. He's special because he just fucking he yeets a vampire like insane. It's the what I like in this movie is like the special effects, the over the top bullshit, the Z time type stuff is pretty fun. And I love the axe. The axe is just badass. I was gonna be Zerker and try and axe it out, but the axe sucks in this game. If it were KF1, maybe. Like, it's more viable there. But anyway, let's move along. We only got a few rounds left. I mean, the movie's not that long, and it really is a good, like fun. It would be like, to me, a comic book movie or graphic novel movie, but it's not off of a graphic novel. I'm pretty sure it's just like a novel, right? But I guess it's a good book. I might have to get it. I don't know. But anyway, let's see. Fast forward a little bit. Like, he's getting a job in Springfield, I believe it is, Illinois, and he's also going to law school. And I guess he's looking for a place to live, and he goes to the shop where he finds a future colleague, and I can't remember his first name, but it's Speed. And he's like, he's like, I need a place to stay. I'm new. I have no money. All this. Oh my God. Holy shit! I shouldn't have stopped there. My God. Here, hold on. Oh no! I'm gonna blow myself up. I'm dead. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah, Speed. Who the actor is the guy from, he's the stoner brother friend guy from Stay Alive, and I think he was McPoyle as well in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I almost shit my pants. Holy shit. Anyway, yeah, watch the movie. Like I say with all movies, watch this one if you haven't already recently. I don't know, it's a good one. I never do these movies a justice, and yeah, this round got a little fucking crazy. And I'm me, so what do you expect? Anyway, the point of that whole thing is like Speed just ended up throwing out like a worker colleague, whatever, because whatever, I don't know. But so he ends up agreeing, like, if you want to work at my store here, you can live upstairs, for free, because he knows Abe's broke. And they end up being colleagues anyway. Like, he ends up being, they know each other for years and years. He works in his cabinet or whatever. I don't know. Like, yeah. Anyway. And in that time, Tony's dad's teaching him how to be a vampire hunter. So that's where he gets the axe and the silver tipped axe or whatever. Yeah. Oh man, I gotta remember. I almost just did it again. Like Britney Spears. Oh my God. Delete your account. Oh God. Anyway. Yeah, so there's like times where he's going through that shows you like his growing pains as a vampire hunter, and then like at any point I would never consider him to be overpowered. Like there's always like a time where that he can fuck up. I think maybe I guess when he's an old man, I guess is when he's at his like hardest. you know. But like the whole time he's like doing this, like he's very vulnerable, and I like how they do that. He's never like overpowered. I would have liked to have seen something where there's like a big like a power trip, power fantasy type thing, which would have been really cool. But and in that time of him working at the store, he meets Mary Todd. He meets again his friend, his black friend from when he was a kid. You know that's a pretty good. Like he walks in and he starts quizzing him about, I guess, like slavery stuff. You know, because that's what he's. You know, he's like a. What would you like? What was it called? Like he would go around the South, like freeing slaves. You know, he's an ex. I don't know if he was a slave before. I can't remember, but he. Well, that's what he does as an adult. You know, so he knows like the Underground Railroad and all that stuff. And but yeah, so and also he steals Mary Todd away from like a pro slavery politician, which I know that some of these people, if not all, are like based on real people. I'm not going to get into that. I'm not a fucking history channel, all right? But yeah, so I mean there's a point where like the vampires just kind of like no, they're like they're trying to take over. So there's like that like in the background that like shadow whatever of like the vampires wanting to like get into politics and take over. So like you know by force, but obviously use politics as like a cudgel. You know, kind of like how people do. But there's a point where he finally gets the vampire he wants, the guy that killed his mom, because he's been working for Tony's dad, for Iron Man's dad, doing like things that he wants him to do. You know, take out the targets I tell you to take out. You don't veer. You know it's an agreement. So he finally gives him what he wants, and after he gets him, because that's when you find out that old boy Tony's dad is a vampire too. The guy outs him pretty much, which is just like whatever. Like if the guy is helpful and whatever, I don't know. I'm not gonna get into that like character shit, but because the guy is genuine, he's not like a bad guy. So I don't know. Like there's no like there's really no real betrayal there. So, but anyway, like there's a point where like what was it? I think this was before. Yeah, this is before there because there's a big time jump, and then he's an old man president, and then he fights vampires again that we probably won't even really talk much about. We'll see, but yeah, there's a time where like they kidnap his friend Anthony Mackie, and you know like the vampires, and they take him to a plantation similar to this, and you know they try to kill him, they try to feed on him, they try, but then like Abe and Speed come to save him, you know, because Abe gets Speed in on it, and like there's a point where like you think he's running away, but he's actually going to get the cart, you know, and I don't know, it's a good scene. There's some good. The movie's pretty good. I'm not doing it a justice at all. I kind of just like veered off on my normal shit. But yeah, we'll start the time jump. Fucking, he's president, and then like the vampires never really forgot, you know. So the sister of the head guy goes to his house, goes to the White House, and poisons his son, which I'm pretty sure his son does die in history, right? Like I'm pretty sure that like they actually, I don't know. There's events that correlate like that, but anyway, it gets into like the end game. You find out that like Speed's manipulating the vampires essentially. Like you think that he's gonna be like a traitor, but he ends up not. I don't know. You gotta watch it. It's pretty good. I thought that like I was expecting it to be goofy because I remember it being goofier than it actually is. Like it's a movie that doesn't take itself too serious, but it's not like a fucking spoof. You know what I mean? So like, I like that. Because this movie wouldn't have done well if it like took itself way serious. But yeah, no, I don't know. I kind of wanted to talk about it a bit better, but I guess it's a better movie to fucking watch. It's visually pretty decent, especially for the time. I think it was 2012 or something like that. 2010, 2012. Pretty decent. Yeah, and I guess these vampires also like have adapted to the sun, and like they're not really allergic to anything other than really silver. I think that's what it was. They kind of explain it in passing, like through narration or whatever, you know, they're kind of explaining what the vampires are. They can kind of like disappear, kind of go invisible, but like I don't really get what it is, but like they have ways of tracking them, and I don't know. It is kind of a goofy movie, but that's like what, like there's a scene where Abe's chasing old boy, the guy that killed his mom, through like a herd of horses or something like that. You know, like a and like it's just a really goofy CG scene, and like there's a train scene at the end which is really good actually. Like looking back, it's just like wow, that's actually really good. Before it was kind of like goofy, and you know at the time it's like I don't know, like a comic, like I said, like kind of like a Jonah Hex goofy comic book movie to me at the time. When I watch it a little bit later, and I'm like, it's actually a little bit more than that. It's pretty good. The acting's pretty solid. The cast is good. Of course, we get this guy on the plantation there. Oh man. Shit. Commando's really not that good for boss fights. I've never really liked Commando for boss fights. I mean, then again, I don't really use the optimal loadout. I kind of just use what I like, and I can't even upgrade these weapons because they're so damn heavy. Sometimes I'll go Scar. Shit. Uh-oh. I'm not going to worry about running out of ammo or nothing. Damn it. I just got to worry about my aim. Ah, shit. Ehoo. Nice. Shit. Shit. I always do that. Well, maybe I will have to run out. Well, I mean, I think there's ammo that spawns in the house too. But yeah, and also at the end of the movie too, there's like the dude's trying to talk him into letting him change him into a zombie, into a vampire, so they can hunt for all eternity or whatever. And it's a tie-in to when Lincoln dies in real life, because he's on his way to that show, to that opera or whatever he went to when he got shot. So that's where the movie ends. Is pretty much Tony's dad seeing Abe for the last time, trying to talk him into turning him into a vampire. But then that's why you see him like years later, kind of sets it. It reminded me of like what was it, a Dracula Untold? Is that what it was called? Where they tried actually making the MonsterVerse or whatever. That movie wasn't awful in my opinion, Dracula Untold. It was saved by what's-him-shit, the actor. The main guys. Yeah, motherfucker. Got you, Hans. Yeah, boy. Fuck you, man. Well, if you stuck around this long, I really appreciate you. Yeah, I don't know. This is probably more of a rambly video. I mean, I don't know which one isn't really, but I don't know. As I was talking about it, I'm just like, man, this is really one to like watch for real. Like, you should watch this one. It's a good, neat movie. Like, I don't know, especially as I got older, because when I was younger and I saw it, I'm just like, like I said, I put it in that vein of Jonah Hex, which like I like Jonah Hex, so I know it's not me talking shit about that movie. I know that movie's not that good, but I enjoy it. But like I put it in that vein where it's just like it's a step above. It really is, like when it comes down to it. It's not awful. The tie-ins are really good. Everything just kind of works together, and it's not like a movie that oversteps too much. I feel like it's undercooked. Like there are some things there that when you're watching it, you're just like, okay, why isn't that explained, or what is that? And like I don't know. One thing that stuck out to me is like the bad guy had this ring on, and it's never really focused on other than one scene where his hand's kind of by his face as he's monologuing, and it's like a vial of blood or something. I don't know what it is, but I was just like, why? Like, that's got to be, like, even something like that's got to be something that they just never really explained. I feel like there's things like cut content almost. Because it's just like, why is it there? I mean, yeah, it could just be there for aesthetic, but it's just like, why? Why would a vampire lord guy? What is that blood? What is that? Like, what's the importance of the shit? I don't know. There's some things there where you're watching it and you're just like, okay, why? And then maybe in the book it explains it. Maybe this isn't like a very good adaptation of the book. I have no idea. That's why I kind of want to read it now, but I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, I'll stop ranting and rambling and let you get on with your day or night. If you would just please consider doing all the things that YouTube likes and that I appreciate very, very much. Thank you so much for hanging out. It really does mean the world to me. You have a good one, and I will catch you on the next one.